Today we got a Kenwood KDC-X969 and it's not working. I believe the ribbon is bad. I've worked on some of these in the past. I'm going to show you what I got here. So that's the unit we're working with. It's a 5-volt pre-out and we're going to take it apart. We went ahead and purchased a ribbon for it because I've seen these before where they stop functioning in this area here, or they just don't even turn on sometimes, or they'll turn on and you can't control them, or the motorized part stops working, and it's usually the cracked ribbon on here. So we're gonna, hopefully that fixes the problem here. 95% of the time that's usually what it is on these. So I went ahead and ordered one and we're gonna go ahead and get this repair going. So first off, what we're gonna want to do is take the screw off of here so we can get the cover off of here. Let's go ahead and unscrew that, and then take a small screwdriver or just lift kind of hard, try to get this cover up and off. Get that cover off on the side, and then inside of here, right down in here and right down in here, there are two Phillips screws that you need to remove, and remove those in the front of the radio. You can see the faceplate right there. Now once you get this off, we're going to pull the mechanism up and out, and there's going to be a ribbon attached to the board, and we want to make sure to unsnap that ribbon. If you can see right here, this ribbon is attached right here, so it has a little lock on each side. Screwdriver, just be real careful right here. Make sure both sides, and it usually just comes right out. Usually it's supposed to slide out. And then when you put it back in, make sure you put it in and make sure none of those metal strips are showing. And then lock one side, lock the other side, and just keep going back and forth locking it, because sometimes when you lock one side, it unlocks the other side. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get the mechanism and get it out of the way. Be very careful with that. So first thing is that I'm going to do is I'm going to take off these tiny little screws. Now you're going to need an assortment of screwdrivers here. I'm sorry, it's this one up here, the one on the top. Might have to take that other one out, I'm not sure yet. So the tiny little screw, put those aside, you don't want to lose it. And then we're going to flip the radio around. And the same thing, take this one off on the top right here. Tiny little screw there. Make sure you're using a magnetic screwdriver, because these are so small. If you drop them, you're not going to be able to pick them up and get them. So, and it's looking like I do have to take off the little black screws on each side too as well. So we're going to go ahead and just take those off as well. Looks like it's mounted. I could see it from inside of here. Same thing on this side. Like I said, I don't know if we're gonna have to take off the ones on the bottom. These ones down here. I haven't done a repair on this specific unit, but I've done a couple of these types. They're a little bit tricky. Lift that little piece off so that releases that front of this on both sides. And then go ahead and take off the whole trim all the way around. That's the trim that goes around there. I'm going to get that out of the way. Trying to give you the best visual I can here. we're going to go ahead and release it from the board. So basically all we did was release it from the board, which was right down here. Okay. So now we can just slide it through here. Take that off of that part. So when we put it back in, we're going to put it through here, come down like that, and then it goes and attaches back to where it was at there. Okay. So this faceplate has to definitely come apart. So this faceplate, in order to get in here, just push and it slides off. And now we're able to get to the ribbon part here. The ribbon actually sits underneath this metal frame here, so this frame has to come off. So we're going to go ahead and take this plate off of here. So it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. Two, three. Four. And then this one's a little bit bigger. This one looks like it's actually holding something major there. It looks like I might have to take off these two little screws too that are on the plate where all the contacts are. Okay. Just took this off. Okay. Ribbon is attached here, goes through here, goes in there, and it goes here. This is the only part that I'm like not sure of. There's two ribbons here. This ribbon doesn't need to be replaced because this one just goes into right here. There's another ribbon, it looks like. It looks like there's another ribbon. So there's a small ribbon that goes from this face to the board. And then this one that I bought is the one that goes and it rotates in there and goes through here. So this ribbon doesn't come off. I could see it right in here. It goes in here. And then the other ribbon goes right here, which is this one that we purchased. That goes inside of this faceplate. Because this is like a dual face. A rotating dual face. Okay, so we're going to take this off from here. Same thing. We're just going to go ahead take that off of there. we can move this faceplate out of the way. Concentrate on this. So now that this is free, I can at least get the ribbon out of that spot. And then to there. You can just open it up from here maybe. Oh, here we go. Just rotate it right here with the gear. Think about that. Make it almost lay down. I should be able to get it out. So if you rotate the gear right here, you can make the face basically make it easy for it to come off. Okay. Now next step is going to be to take these two screws off of here to take the display off, and then under the display should be the last of the ribbon. Okay. And gently lift this up. You have to be careful here. So we got the display out. Let's move this out of the way. And we're going to flip the display over. And there's where the ribbon is. So there's two ribbons on this. There's this one here, which actually looks good. That's the one that goes from here inside the radio. And then we have this one here. Now, and from the looks of it here, it looks like it has a solder spot here, 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 and here. So there's the 5 solder spots. So these clips somehow solder onto there. So I have to get my soldering gun and unsolder that real quick. This ribbon off. So we're going to go ahead and clip it from here, from there. Lift that up and then slide it out. And then what we're going to want to do, I believe, is heat these 5 pieces up. Hopefully I can fix this. I kind of bent that little clip there trying to pull this out. So hopefully I can figure out a way to straighten it back out. I'll have to buy another part. Now you will need a solder sucker. That's what this thing is. I'm assuming these legs probably stick out and they're soldered to that. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. I mean, why else would this have solder on there? does have. So these are basically, these are like little soldered legs. Now I see what it is. Okay, there it is. It's coming off. I'll show you in a minute. Let me just get it off of here. There it goes. That one came off. Shoot. That one we're gonna have to try to get it back in here. So if you look carefully right here, there's like little legs that are soldered on there. So this one came off. I'm gonna have to try to see if I can make it work. Okay, I got it in there. I don't know if it was going to stay in there, but I got it in there. And this one here, this one was the one that got messed up. You can order a new one of these. I believe they do sell them. And now that I'm thinking back at it, I could have swore like the last one I did, I think I did. I just bought a new one of these. Instead of having to try to unsolder it. Yeah. Make sure they go in. So it looks like I got it back on there, all back together. When this pushes up against her, those pins push through. Beautiful. So there's 3 pins on one side, and then there's 2 pins on the other. So you line those up on the new one, and you basically put the 2 pin on that side and then the 3 pin on the other side. So I need to flatten that down like that and then solder those on like that. Center it the best you can. And if the pins are a little bent, try to straighten them out. So basically, you have to try to solder these spots, these 5 spots right back on here, and it's real tough. This soldering gun might be a little bit too hot for that, because you don't want to melt the board. It seems like it got on there, but I'm just afraid that it might have damaged the board a little bit. But well, we're gonna put it together anyways. So, all right, so here we go. So we're gonna try to go in reverse order here. So this one's going to go back onto here. Slide that in there. All the way in. And then you want to lock these tabs. Lock one. Be real careful. Lock the other. Sometimes when you lock one, it pops the other one, so you want to make sure that you're that you go back and check them. So that's on there, and then this just kind of lays like that. That's step one. It actually has to go in through the hole first, and then go into here. So those two are back on there. And so then this plate can go back on. Should go back on a lot easier because it's not. And just make sure it snaps into place right here and right here. Obviously the bottom too. And then this is going to come through here. And then this is going to hook up into there. It's got these little spots for that to hook into. So that's got to has to go inside of here. And then the screws go from the other side. That, like that. That goes in there like that. And then this goes back up. So you just rotate. So then this is going to go in like that, and then it's going to lay in like that. Okay. But before I do that, this piece fell off. So there's a little plastic piece. I believe that's the reset button. Just make sure that you put it back into this metal frame right here. Just lays in there. That's why it fell out, because it just lays in there. So which is crazy. Okay. So next step is going to be to put this ribbon back onto the here, and it goes right there. So we want to make sure that these little things are open, and then this is going to come over here. Carefully try to get it back in there. Over, then you can hold it there and then close the little lock. Make sure the button's back in there, and then this is going to lay down like that. Should just snap back in. It's going to flip the face over. And now we're going to screw down this piece back down. Should be 2 tiny screws. It might be these 2 right here. So now we're going to screw down the plate, and that had 4 of the same type of screws. This one might go here. See? Yep, that's the big one. And then we got 1, 2, 3, there, and the next step would be to this would snap in just like that. Now, so once the ribbon goes through this plate like so, and then sits right back down here, let's put that ribbon in. So this plate here is going to go back here, and then we're going to rotate this back so that we have a little bit more ribbon. I slid it into there. I kind of pulled it with that, and then there it is. Locked it into place. It's in there. The next step is going to be to put this plate on. It had the other gold one goes on top. I believe the black one goes in here. I'm going to flip it around. Push down on it a little bit so that it gets it in the hole there. And that's one there. And we'll put the trim on last. Don't worry about the trim right now. Next step is put the CD thing back in there. Once you got it all the way in, try to lock it. Sometimes you gotta help the screwdriver a little bit. It doesn't want to lock into place. Put the CD player back in there. The laser. And then we're going to put the 2 screws in the front that are left. So one goes there and the other one goes there. Get the cover on. And then the last screw goes on the back. And now it's all back together. Now we're going to bench test it. Okay guys, so we got this thing wired up to my power supply, which is back there somewhere. Go ahead and turn it on. Give me a second. See what we got. This thing wouldn't turn on at all. So
attention, 100.7 Big FM employee. Extra money, engineering.
Seems to be working.
Call inside the transmitter to clean out rat droppings, and maybe fight the rats too. Thank you.
This actually has 2 ribbons in here, so I'm assuming this thing not closing, it's that second ribbon. So the first ribbon seems to control everything on here. Don't know if it controls something on here, or maybe there's a motor issue. Why this thing, I mean the tilt works on here, but this thing should close by itself. So, you know, hopefully that helps you guys out. I replaced the ribbon on this. This was on a KDC-X969. Thanks for watching.